You get embarrassed, don't
Yeah,
you?
no, I do get embarrassed, yeah.
Welcome along to Bangkok ChitChat with Andrew and Andy. And I don't know if you saw the Spotlight interview we did the other week with Gail Bailey.
Gail Bailey, MBE.
MBE, yeah. And anyway, we got quite a lot of views on it and quite a lot of remarks about how good she was and how interested it was. So if you haven't seen it, then you can go to our YouTube channel.
And it's about, a lot of it is about
prisons.
the Thai prisons. So you can go to our YouTube channel, which is called ChitChat Now. Which is also, and also our Facebook is called ChitChat Now as well. So you can have a look in both of these media.
All right, in the show today we're going to be just chatting about some passports and visas. There's a reason why we're going to do that, I'll tell you later. We've got our normal clip picks, something for you to smile about. Also, we're going to be talking on What's On about the most scariest temple in Thailand. And we're going to have some of the viewers' remarks and comments and that on the previous shows. That's all coming up on Bangkok Chit-Chat on this show today.
Great.
Right, so my neighbour was going to Singapore with his little one to go to Disneyland or Universal or whatever. And he was on a Thai passport, the kid, and he only had 3 months to go. So they left, and I was sort of speaking to them. He says, "Oh, we've just noticed the passport 3 months in advance." "Ah, don't worry about that. That'd be all right. Got plenty of pages?" Yeah. Oh, that'd be... No, he didn't get it. No, they wouldn't allow him to do the ticket office. Said, no, wow. Not happening. So it got me to thinking, is every country like that? And why? So, like, for instance, this is the best one. If you want to go to Argentina, your passport has to be valid for the time you're there. So it doesn't run out while you're there. Makes sense, I think, anyway. Hong Kong, it's 1 month after you left. It mustn't run out. Chile, passport valid for 3 months after departure date. And Brazil, 6 months. I just don't get it. Why all that time? And what is
interesting? You say after departure date. So if you
not the departure from your country of origin. I guess it must mean departure from the country you're visiting.
Right. Okay.
I would have thought. I would assume that. No.
All right. Well, don't assume anything. Just double check.
Yeah.
It always changes.
For heaven's sake. No, that'd be.
What about Thailand?
Thailand is I don't know. Oh, 6 months. There we go again.
So you've got to have a validity of your passport for 6 months. Yeah?
Otherwise, you can't get a visa.
You also need to have 2 blank pages.
Well, this is the other thing I was thinking about is some countries want blank. I mean, hang on. A handful of countries require at least 1 or 2 fully blank visa pages for valid entry. This requirement could be for either an entry stamp or visa. Countries that require a passport to have a blank page in order to be stamped include, and there's a host of countries, Mexico, Canada, the UK, but that's 1 blank page. But just go to a website, it's all over there, it's a whole jungle.
So basically
the
warning is find out how much validity of your passport's left.
Well, absolutely.
And also how many pages there before you go.
Absolutely, don't take anything for granted.
I think this is just a bit of a farce, because, you know, I did a bit of research, and being British, I did some research.
So you're Scottish?
Yeah, I'm Scottish and British. I put it in the correct order, but yeah, okay. But when you apply for a passport from the UK for a 50-page jumbo size, it's £85.50. If you're applying from overseas, it's £95.50. Now, when you think about that, you think, all right, okay, because you could send it. No. In addition to that, you have your courier. So now, for a £50 passport, it's 95 if you're in the UK, and if you are overseas, if you're overseas, it's £128.51.
Yeah.
So the 50 pages, that's 105
Is that with the courier
without
fee?
The courier, but that includes the carrier,
Which is like DHL or something, right?
it could be or whichever one you want. But you send it to the UK. But it's an awful lot of money, yeah.
Well, don't forget, I applied for a new passport while being in Thailand, right? And in those days, it would go to Hong Kong, my passport. So I paid courier from Thailand to Hong Kong, then Hong Kong to London, London to Hong Kong to Bangkok. That's just, imagine the courier price on that.
Well, I can
and they
understand
insisted
you have to pay
on
for
DHL.
That. But
and
the base price for the 50 was, I made a mistake for, was £105. Yeah. And the base price, you know, if you're applying from Thailand, but if you're in the UK, it is £85. So that's 20 quid difference, yeah.
How much is a Thai passport?
I've got no idea because I'm not Thai. Yeah?
No.
But it is an awful lot cheaper. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, an awful lot cheaper.
Okay.
But the other thing is, because my daughter's studying in the Netherlands, for her to get her passport, her British passport, she has to apply from the embassy, even though she could go to the UK and apply for it there, but she's not allowed to, because she's living in the Netherlands, so she has to do the overseas.
She's a resident.
She's a resident in the Netherlands, because she's studying. But the point is that if she travelled back to visit family or whatever it is in Scotland, she's not allowed to apply within Scotland. She has to apply from within the Netherlands.
Well, I mean, I think in the end, my whole thing cost close to £200 with the couriers and all that, because I used loads of them, and they insisted on DHL.
Right.
And it's a big parcel. It's a big thing.
So it's improved then, yeah?
So I don't know
you're
now.
saying
I
now
think
it's
it's through
cheaper?
the trendy building now. Is it trendy building?
You have to go to the trendy building. But there's another little thing is for emergency passports. If you lose your passport and you're stuck, what are you going to do? How many pages do you have left?
I ain't got any.
Right. So you can apply for an emergency passport. That actually allows you to travel to 5 different countries on that passport. But it is emergency, so it's basically you've got to apply for the new passport. And you have to print your itinerary. Okay, so I'm going to this country, this country, this country on that passport. Yeah.
On this emergency.
Yeah,
passport.
the emergency passport, and it costs you around about £100. Yeah, and you can, I believe, unless it's changed, you go to the visa agency for the UK in the Trendy building on Sukhumvit. But like everything else, things change. Check with the embassy.
I know, and this is what. Well, we'll get to it in a moment. But that just also sort of goes nicely into this blank page bit. So, the passport's so expensive. You're leaving a country and you get the moron on immigration. You're coming in or going out. You just boom, right in the middle of a page. And these pages are very expensive. So I read online, people, because you're not allowed to write on the passport. It's going to
right.
look.
Okay.
All right. That's it. But put a post-it sticker thing on all the blank pages saying, not for use, not for use, not for use. So that at least it's going to stop them. They're going to, oh, what's that? And then put a postage stamp with an arrow, stamp here.
All right. But
and you may get another 2 or 3 years. I mean, what must be worse is you've got a 10-year passport, and it runs out in 5 years because there's no more room in it. And you look back and you go, well, I could have made a whole page there, another page. You could have gone for another 2 years and get more value for money.
Well, I saw, I've just recently got a visa, I won't say where, but it's a large country. And what you generally do, like US or the Schengen visa or something like that, or the China visa, it takes up a whole page.
Yes, so I get that.
What I found was they put the visa, 3 pages in, so there's blank pages there, blank pages there, and they're stuck in the middle. You not say just go to the next page.
And you'll get some fussy immigration guy saying, oh, you can't use, when you've run out of blank pages, you can't say, well, what about these 3 in the front? Oh, no, can't use those. You can't use those, sir. Why? Well, because our guy put the visa. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I was told by somebody who knows what they're talking about, unlike us, that tell these guys, don't be intimidated by immigration unless there's something wrong with you're entering, or you're illegal or something like that. Then you've got to be whatever. But don't let these guys rule it. They're just lazy.
But don't be cheeky though, because they might just not let you in.
Well, I'm a resident, so there. All right, so let's get on to visas just very quickly. And that's another thing. I thought, well, I'll just get and do a bit of a. It got so complicated. I'll go from this way because I know what I'm talking about on this one. If you come from these certain countries, you're allowed to come in for a Thailand visa on arrival, and it's free, but you can only come for 15 days, and you can't extend it. It's a 15-day thing, and the countries are like, I won't go through them all, but Andorra, Bulgaria, Cyprus, Bhutan, India, Kazakhstan, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Mauritius, Papua New Guinea. Anyway, there's a list of countries. So if you come from hold a passport in those countries, you can come in for 15 days and it doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
Now,
otherwise known as a visa on arrival.
Called visa on arrival.
But we are as well, as UK or US.
No, it's not a visa on arrival, and this is what complicated it all for me, because I never get a visa now to come into Thailand, so I don't know. I never have to go through that process. So And they kept on going, extending your tourist visa, tourist visa. Well, there's a tourist visa, but there's also something before that, which is a tourist exemption visa stamp,
Right.
which in its title means it's not a visa. It's a visa exempt. I can't say that word. Can you
Yeah, I
say
think
it for me?
Australia has that visa exemption
Thank
as
you
well.
very much. Yeah. Oh, okay, so that's valid for 30 days and it's free. So you come here to Thailand, and what you can do is fork out another, they said 1,900 baht. And this price has been going up and down over the years. When the government want more people to come in, they lower it. But at present...
And they did it for certain countries as well.
Exactly. Of recording, it was 2,000 baht, or just under 2,000 baht. And you can extend for another 30 days, so that gives you 60 days. Mm-hmm. Now, if you want a tourist visa, you have to apply for a tourist visa outside of the country. You can't do it inside of the country, the consulate or whatever. And you can go for 60 days. You look up the price, because I got really confused. When you get here for the 60 days, you can renew it before the 60 days run out, obviously, the same as the other one, for another 30 days.
You'd have to go to, like, Chiang Mai.
Immigration, yeah. Any immigration in Thailand will do it. And that will extend, so the most you can get on a tourist visa, and this no working, let's not get into all that business, 90-day holiday, that's the way to do it, as far as I can see.
And how many times can you do that?
Well, then you've got to... It doesn't say anywhere for Thailand how many times you can do it. I think as long as you fly out, not go over a land border, but you fly out and then go through the whole process again, I think you can do as many times as you want.
No, there was a limit. So I think, from what I understand, that there was a limit for tourist visas because they were trying to clamp down on teachers who were not certified, and didn't have a work permit. So what they said, there was, I think it was a maximum of 2 or 3. Someone can correct us, on how many times you can extend.
Now, I remember the teacher. I do remember that.
You used to call them border runs or something like that.
Yeah, which all these companies are set up to do. Like these minivans and all that. But there is a difference between going across a border, a land border, and like an airport.
No, I think it was the same. The embassies the consulates and embassies said you can only have so many times, and then you will not get another tourist visa for how long of a gap. I'm not too sure.
I mean, honestly, if obviously you need to know all this information, you're not just going to rely on us. And go, oh well, that's it. Then it's clear as mud. Then no. So this goes on to the other ones are the people that want to work here. And I mean, from my own experience, when I first came here, I applied for a non-immigrant B. I can remember I needed a letter of introduction from my employers, and there's a bit more paperwork in that. But the trick was it was a non-immigrant B, which gave me 90 days in Thailand. And then in that 90 days, you've got to set up your extension for a year, your work permit, which you can get on a non-immigrant B, and of course the work permit's a whole different ball game. There's loads of restrictions.
For the business visa, for the B visa, you've got to supply a whole lot of company documentation, audit information, accounting information, letters, etc.
I don't know how much it is. Quite a lot.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's quite a hefty amount. If you can also get the O visa, which is a non-immigrant, and the O visa is a ordinary, possibly, I don't know, but it's an O visa anyway.
And you can get work permit on that?
And a marriage, it's called a marriage visa, if you're married to a Thai, and you can get a work permit alongside that now.
Okay, here's the thing. So you would come over...
You don't need to supply all the company documentation. It's basically... You don't need to provide the company documentation.
So the thing is that I found when I was working for this hotel when I first came here, so the 90 days, they had to get their act together, and they did with the work
and then you get extended.
Then they extended it only for 9 months, I remember that.
That's right.
Which meant the year.
It's from the point you applied.
But then you're home and dry. You've got to visit down at that near Dindang area, I think it is, and you have to go once a year there. But
that's a work permit. That's for work permit.
That's for and then the visa was automatic. So if you're going to do anything serious here, where getting married, you've got to get a non-immigrant.
Is not automatic. Basically, you still got to apply every year. You still have to provide the same documentation and proof. The principle behind it, from the immigration's point of view, is does the company have enough money to be able to pay?
And there's loads. I mean, I've got it all here, but it's going to bore people to death. I'm not going. And the other one is resident, and I'm just mentioning this because. 15 years ago, it was 20,000 baht. And to become a resident, you had to sort of be here for 3 or 4 years on a non-immigrant B, work permit, and never run out. In other words, continual. And it says here you must have held a Thai non-immigrant visa for at least 3 years prior to the submission of your application. Holders of multi-non-immigrant visas cannot apply. Blah. And there's a load of things what you need. I had a house, I was married, I had a child, and I'd been here working under work permits for 15 years. So I really ticked all the boxes, yeah, but they only have so many, back then, an allocation of how many they give away. And it was 20,000 baht. A year later, they moved it up to 200,000 baht, which is, I think, what it is today. So what are the benefits? And I'm really going to tell you straight, the only big benefit from it is that you don't ever have to leave Thailand again. If you travel, if I go to England or something like that, I have to get a re-entry permit, and I have to get an endorsement on my residency.
If you don't have residency.
If I have with residency.
Oh, right.
With residency, I've still got to get a re-entry visa, like you would, and also
so 1,000 baht. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, multi is
3,800.
Yeah, it is, and then also I have to get an endorsement on my. Residency visa. It's a visa. They call it a residence visa or certificate. So it cost me the 1,008 for that for one time to come back, and another 1,008 for the. So it cost me about 4,000 baht. So the point is, if I don't travel anywhere, I don't have to do anything. I'm legal to the rest of my days, as long as I don't leave the country.
It costs you 1,008. It's 1,000
for a re-entry permit.
Well, so for the non-immigrant, it's 1,000
for a re-entry into Thailand.
For re-entry, yeah.
I thought you said 1,800.
1,000, it's 3,800 for the multi-entry, so you can go in and out as many times.
Well, I'm on the same thing as whatever it is for everybody else.
Right, okay.
So the point I'm trying to say is the residency doesn't do you any favours there.
Right.
It's supposed to give you a slight preference on work permits, like if the company you're working for hasn't got enough capital or hasn't got enough employees or something, they're one short because they've got to employ so many people before they can employ you, you may be able to squeeze in on a residency.
Well, actually, on the marriage visa as well for a company, if you for the work permit point of view, if you haven't got a work permit, you've got to have 4 employees, 2 million baht per investment capital for each work permit. If you're married, you still have to have the 2 million, but you just need to have 2 employees.
All right, so it's all like, it depends.
There's lots and lots and
what
lots.
you want to do. It's all out there.
Yeah.
And as long as you're sort of, you haven't got a record, you're not on, America's Most Wanted or anything like that, you should be able to get, do what you want to do. Just very quickly before we finish on this subject, overstays, right? More than 90 days, a 1-year ban from Thailand. If you stay over 1 year, 3-year ban. Overstay more than 5 years, you get a 10-year ban. Now, if you've only overstayed less than a year, but you've been apprehended, you've been arrested, then you're banned for 5 years straight away.
Wow.
End of story. And that's it. They're very, very harsh on that. And it's going to cost you, you're allowed up to, it's 500 baht a day, and it doesn't get serious for 40 days. So you're allowed 40 days of overstay, and they'll just fine you the 500 baht, which I think you actually pay at the airport. That's 20 grand. That's going to cost you 20,000 baht.
Yeah, and some people who I knew someone that did that, and they said actually it was cheaper to pay the 20 grand maximum than pay the 500 baht.
Go the other way around.
So that's what they did, but they get kicked out. Yeah? And they did have a period.
But here's not a kicking out though. This is if you overstay only up to 40 days, you're allowed it back again. You just pay the fine and it can come back. It's not a serious crime.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's that. Basically, don't overstay.
Well,
simple as that.
And what happens is, of course, you get some people who've stayed here for 5 or 6, 7 years, and they just can't afford ever to go anywhere else. They have to stay in Thailand illegally, because what are they going to do?
Yeah, well, that's what Thailand do not want these people.
Well,
another thing to be aware of is that you have your 90-day rule. I'm not sure if this applies to tourists. Yeah, so you have to send information to where your residence is to the immigration every 90 days.
Oh no, residents
don't need to do that. It's an advantage. So it can be done online. There's a website which is most of the time working. Yeah. And you have to send it, I think it's 15 days before you have to do your 90-day report. Or you can send by letter, or you can go to the Changwatana if you're in Bangkok, or your immigration centre, and you can do it there, but it's a long way. You're talking about half a day if you have to go to Chiang Mai Tana. Yeah, and also for your re-entry, you can do your re-entry by going to Chiang Mai Tana or your immigration department, or you can do it at the airport.
You can do it at the airport now.
Yeah. But I was always worried in case they were closed for some reason. There was a holiday and they didn't tell me, and I've got to go through it cancels your visa.
We're short of a time now, but do you remember tax clearances? People watching that know what a tax clearance means say, Andy, say no more. And one day we'll talk about it, but not now. But okay, that was that. We've got some clip picks. That's coming next on Bangkok Chit Chat.
Bangkok Chit Chat Clip Picks.
Welcome back to Bangkok Chit Chat, and as the man said, time for clip picks. First one coming up. If you're sort of not happy with the diet you're on, or you're trying to lose weight and it's not working, maybe this could work for you.
Big one? Does it look like a crab?
Actually, if you shove the banana a little bit further up in his hand, you'd probably get a bite out of it.
Yeah, I should get some of them to help with my diet.
That's what I'm going to say. It's perfect.
Yeah, I thought I should say it before you said it.
All right. When you go to mini marts, 7-Elevens and that, I think it's quite cute as long as the dogs are, what's the word, not biting everybody that goes in. And some dogs sort of really get into a state of like tranquility and will not let anything put them off, right? Take a look. I mean, what's going through? Does he know that those doors are going to retreat?
I think he's feeling it's like a cuddle, a door cuddle. It's a bit of a maybe it's a Thai massage for a dog.
I don't know where that was. That was sent in by a relative of mine, actually, and that was done actually in Thailand.
Right, yeah, 7-Eleven, didn't it?
Yeah. You often hear, you know, how sort of, you know, dogs, bitches, the mothers, you know, look after their puppies and everything, but sometimes enough is enough. And I think this one sort of highlights that. Yeah, you're in my spot. And he hits a ground, bang! And that's where, and it's the funny thing, he doesn't really fit there. I'll make room. I'll make room.
He's cuddling up to his owner.
And hey, that's a beautiful dog.
Absolutely
what is
lovely.
that, an Alaskan thing? Is that what they're called?
Yeah, they're quite vicious from what I gather. Yeah, very, very protective.
Very, very expensive here if you buy the real thing.
Too hot for here.
I know. Well, it's got to be. Yeah, and imagine exercise. When they're used to pulling sledges around in 10-foot snow.
You would have a chance. You'd be off down the road.
You're having a good time today, aren't you? You're enjoying the show, aren't you?
I'm enjoying it, yeah.
All right, we're taking a break, coming back with this scariest temple on this What's On segment. That's next on Bangkok Chit Chat.
Bangkok Chit Chat. What's on?
Welcome back to Bangkok Chit Chat, and it's the What's On section. And normally we put things on here that we'd want to tell you about because maybe you'd like to go and see it because it's really good. This one, I'm probably telling you, don't go and see it. It's called the Hell's Garden, and it's a way that this temple has sort of depicted what life is like for Buddhists if they don't live the right way. In other words, our version of hell.
Right. Okay.
And you'll see from the picture here is with that is Walt Disney compared with what there else is there. There's some you can see that online. It is absolutely punishment like. Awful. I can't even describe it.
It's a sick mind. Actually,
sick. I mean, it's called the Wang Sen Suk Hell Garden, And when you get to it, apparently, I'll tell you where it is. Sai 2, Soi 19, doesn't mean much. Sen Suk, doesn't mean much, but close to Thailand's Bang Sen Beach. So you get Google Maps or something.
So
get near there, it's down that
patio
way.
way.
Yeah,
don't take your kids to
Well, no, look at the website first. I'm not kidding you. I can't even describe what I saw because I don't think it's nice.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
But it may, some people might, you were saying that this dark tourism thing.
Yeah, there's a program called Dark Tourism, which is actually basically a type of tourism, yeah, and they go to all these macabre places, yeah, even with mummies and things like that. So
I don't mind that sort of thing. Or they have done those
on
hospital
YouTube.
Autopsy museums where you can go and see heads in jars.
Oh,
yeah. And I went in London once a while back to the Tower of London, and they have the dungeon tour where, and it's very much similar to this, but much more Walt Disney compared with this one in Thailand. And there's, torturing people, having a hammer and nail knocked through, just in a jail cell. But at the end, they got someone being beheaded, guillotined.
See, today they get a TV in the UK.
What?
Today they get a TV.
I wasn't that far back. And then, so they got this guy on the stage, and he gets brought up to be guillotined, right? And this is at the end when you walk around, right? And as the thing's dropping, just before it cuts his head off, it goes black, the whole place. And they spray warm water over you.
Oh.
And I've never, can you imagine? Yeah. In that environment, you're in a dungeon, straw floor, it smells like a dungeon.
It's an atmosphere.
Probably someone's just passed wind up behind you or something like that. And then you're just going to go, oh, look at this. Then it goes black, and then you, just a little bit of water
Did you scream?
Across your face. I didn't scream. I went, no, I didn't scream.
You swore, didn't you?
I just was shocked.
All right, okay.
And I thought, I think it's real. Anyway, it's called the Wang Sen Suk Hell Garden. And if you haven't been a good boy or girl, you could end up there after life. Anyway. You've got something else for us, which is a bit more cheerful. Also,
a bit more cheerful. Yeah, from just a few things that are happening. Then we've got Jimmy Carr coming. He will be at the Westin on the 29th of March. I believe there had been a change in date. So that is from 8 p.m. until 10:30 at Westin. And you can contact the Comedy Club to get your tickets.
Not a thing I would take my children to.
It
depends what
to be
show
honest,
he's doing.
I was watching Jimmy Carr the other day. I think he's very funny, but it does take a certain kind of.
He's a bit smutty as well. I mean,
well, smutty. I don't mind.
No,
that
not
either.
smutty. It was what I saw him do on stage. Was like I wouldn't want my kids to listen.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's an 18 years
18
old
plus
and,
thing,
and over within the UK. Yeah. But I think he's quite funny. But I like more storytelling style, like Billy Connolly style, that kind of.
I don't know who my favourite comedian
Ray
is.
Mearns?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody now. Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper, cheese.
Not like that. Like that. Bottle green bottle. I'm waking up now. All right, just as the show's ending. Quick break, back with some of the viewers' comments in a moment here on Bangkok Chit Chat. Welcome back to Bangkok Chit Chat. I'm going to keep this guy down today. What are you on? Can I have £5 worth or something? Got some comments from viewers from Living Joy. These are true, we don't make them up. Another superb show. Loved the clip pick segment. Now that's good because it's something that we've just started doing, and I know you can get these clip picks everywhere you go, but part of the show, I think it just goes nicely with
it does.
All right. What else we got? Media Maker says a great story about the lady and her watch. Remember that we did a few weeks ago?
Yep.
She left that 170 grand watch in the back of the car. It says, well done to the taxi driver and very good that the lady gave nice reward for its return. Absolutely. Thank you, Media Maker. Paul Dobbs, this is, good show, brought back fun memories, especially when Old Man Jackson was rattling on. Good luck with the show. That was the interview, very first one with Paul Jackson.
Yeah.
God, Paul was late and ready to
reply to 2 months, 2 months
Yeah,
now.
it is. 105 subscribers. Right, Robin Wesley Martin. What a great name. Hello. Hello. My name is
he was
Robin
one of the first
Wesley
people
Martin.
I actually met in Thailand.
Oh, you know him?
Yes, I do know him, yes.
All right. The
Very
show
nice
must
guy.
go on. That's all he said.
Yeah.
That's all he said. Well, yes, Robin, the show must go on, and that's what we plan to do.
He's actually a writer. He's journalistic writing or tourism writing. Very good.
Thanks for taking the time to write in, Robin. Sylvia Trent, can you spotlight some local musicians? You know, because if you're not sure of our...
Robin, that's where you can advise us.
Yeah, we don't do the interviews now. We do. We call them spotlights.
Yes.
We've done so. Well, what can I say? We've actually talked about it, Sylvia, to be honest, and we think it's a good idea. It's just getting the right people on. I mean, we can actually get them to play a tune because we won't have copyright issues if it's their own.
Yeah, that was one of the things. Is getting people. If we wanted to film something, is if they have to be playing their own music. We don't want to get into copyright issues or things like that.
Don't want to get off YouTube after all we've done.
Yes.
All right. Now this is from Thai, which we'd love to have, Thai viewers, and I'm sure we do have some. Kum Ponchard. This is a good one. Can you talk a little slower? I understand most, but sometimes not understand all.
And I think
Thank
today
you.
we failed.
You have.
Right, maybe I have, yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't have had that 3 coffees before you arrived, I think. So we should maybe talk a bit slower. All right, now these are the ones that we mentioned, Gail Bailey's interview that we did last week, and these are, I think, directed to her. Sarah Glaze wrote, fantastic interview, Gail. We were there as well. What was that? It was like having you here in my sitting room in West Sussex. So the set looked good as well. So a thumbs up to ClipCube Media on that. And well done, Sarah. Yeah, absolutely right. It was a great interview. Kobe Samurai said, very interesting, thank you. And to Miss Bailey, thank you for your service to the Royal Society of St. George in particular. And that's from the president of the Kobe, Japan branch. So, Mr. Kobe, when you come, his name can't be Kobe, can it really? Anyway, if you come over, say hello to us and bring some steak. And Becky McManus said, fantastic lady.
Did you just say his name was Kobe?
Well,
It's not. It's a
Kobe
town.
Samurai.
It's a town.
Well, I know. So I said his name can't be Kobe as well.
No.
So what's his name then?
Didn't
His
say.
handle,
He
his
didn't
handle
say.
is Kobe Samurai.
Just call him George.
It could be Kobe.
Just call him George. But thank you anyway for your comments.
Yeah, thanks, George. And keep on, please write in. Now, the ways you do it, go on, you go for that. How do you write into us? Well, you can write in on the bottom of the...
You can give comments on the Facebook post. You can send a message to us through our Facebook. You can also put comments in within YouTube. So
Yeah,
there's
the YouTube channel
ways,
is called ChitChat Now. The Facebook page is called ChitChat
ChitChat
Now.
Now.
So if you haven't subscribed already, and thanks very much to all those that have, but if you haven't, please subscribe, like, and share because it just gets us out there even more.
If you in the video, you'll see in the bottom right that there's a little subscribe button. Click on there, and also there's a bell which you can click as well to get notifications. On Facebook, just like our page, right? And then you can also like the post. So
Everything's
it's as easy as
hunky-dory.
that. Yeah. I'm going to have another coffee.
I don't. I'm going to have a beer. Right, that's it for now. We've got a spotlight interview with somebody very interesting, and somebody connected with professional football. He's a great character, been here for a long, long time, and we're getting that together. That's probably the next spotlight
It
interview,
is, yes.
if I'm right. Yes, it is. And we'll see you next time here on Bangkok Chit Chat. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.